Okay. Hold on a second. I got something to say, but hold on 1 second. Okay. All right. So I was doing this meditation. And the reason why I'm careful in talking is because I know there are listeners, even though I appear to be by myself. Ooh. So somebody's listening to what I'm saying. Hold on. I go through things and let me know. As soon as I said that, I got stung. I'm just going to be honest. I got stung when I said that. So, there's the listeners. We think we're by ourselves, and we're not. And only reason I'm able to know I'm not by myself is because of stuff that keep happening. This torture that I kind of been going through for the last few months is really, I'm just being watched, and it's things that's on all of us. And I have been tortured enough to know that what's on me is what's on a lot of people. I just experienced feeling it. Okay? And we're being listened to. So I was doing a meditation today. And it has to do with consciousness. And when I was doing this, I saw a mirror. And, we've always been taught what's on the other side of that mirror is something bad. Many of us, those who are in the know, might know better. So, if I'm talking like this, it's because of the listeners. So, I'm talking a little slow and a little careful. Okay? As I was listening to this meditation, I was starting to merge through the mirror. My head was going into the mirror. And I was like, why is my head going into the mirror when I'm trying to expand my consciousness? It's because the real me is on the other side of that mirror. Those people in us, they look scary. They look scared. They look violent. But what they were doing was killing the fake self. The fake self didn't realize they were fake. They felt like they were innocent. That's their ego self. That's the ego self. The fake self, the movie Us, Lupita Nyong'o, I think it was her. When she was a little girl, I'm going to watch Us again. She was at some carnival, she was somewhere, and then she went into this place by herself, and she was taken. And then when she grew up, her family kept noticing that she was having problems, with things. And it turns out she was always stuck on the other side. And so the part of her that was coming back that was so evil and seemed like a killer, it was the real her trying to take out that fake person so she can be her real self. But the thing is, these writers, Jordan Peele, I don't know if he's the writer, but he got the credit for it, okay? those people are occultists and they are part of some things, and they can't be completely honest. You have to figure it out. You have to figure it out. And real, true occultists probably already figured it out. But those people that look so evil on the other side of that mirror, those were the original people. And the ones that look all crisp and clean and innocent like they were being attacked, they were the fake ones who were the egos and did not realize they were fake. They did not realize they were egos. So they felt like they were being treated bad. So that's interesting. And something happened to me when I was a little girl where I told you, I said time and time again, but I never know who listened to this page, so I say it again, where when I was a little girl, something happened to me when I was like between 3 to 5. Some ritual was done. All I know is I remember being in my highest self at the age of 5. I knew what I wanted to be. I knew what I wanted to do. I used to love to read. I used to have flashcards all the time. I rarely watched TV. I used to love to clean all the time. I was just made all A's and stuff. And I was good with money. Anytime I found a coin or anything, I put it in a piggy bank and saved it. I was good with money. By the time I turned 7 years old, every single thing that I just mentioned I was good at flipped upside down, and I went to making D's and F's and just terrible. And, just everything that I just mentioned I was good at flipped upside down. And when I got into my 30s, I'm still spending all that time. I'm in my 40s now, getting back to who I am, who I was, that little girl. Because my family did some ritual to swap me out for another spirit. That's why I don't always give these motivational messages talking about, have joy in all things you do. You just have to have joy. I agree with that. But sometimes there's going to be those certain range of emotions. You do have a range of emotions, and you're going to experience those range of emotions. I cannot stand the idea of you just supposed to have joy in all things all the time, because you're meant to learn. You're meant to grow. Right? You're meant to progress. And it's hard to make progress if you're always in joy and you just know to be in joy every single time something happens. Then you really have nothing to learn, because you're not experiencing any other kind of emotion where you can go through this process of going from a human to the higher you. You're not really going through that process, because going through that process requires that you experience different emotions. So I can't get into just having this joy all the time. That don't seem to be working. That don't work for me. Now, you can't be staying in despair all the time, but I can't see all this joy all the time with everything you do, because you're not giving yourself to grow. You're not giving yourself a chance to evolve from being a human, because you just think you're supposed to be one way. That's not an excuse to, be down all the time either, though. Because sometimes that, you can hear that and that can be an excuse just to not do anything. I don't mean that either. But you got to have balance. People who understand what I'm saying is they're balanced, okay? But, yeah, so I can't see all of that. That's not how that works. And another reason is because of the people who say that. They might have had some ups and downs in life, like they might have struggled to have a place to live. They might have struggled with a vehicle. It could have been times they didn't have work, didn't have money. It could have been times they could have been ill. But they always knew who they were their whole life. But then again, I don't think so. After that movie, and I know I'm on the other side of that mirror because what was done to me as a little girl. But see, that type of thing hasn't been done to everybody. Those type of rituals have not been done to everybody. Yet a lot of people are on the other side of that mirror, so it makes me wonder, how did they get over there? Because this didn't happen to everybody. But most people are on the other side of that mirror. How did they get over there? Now, Lupita's character, something happened when she went by herself. I need to watch the movie again to see exactly where she was. But I think she was in some kind of fair with her parents. And she went off by herself somewhere. I don't know if she went to the bathroom or what she did. But she was taken. And that little girl never came back from the other side of that mirror. When Lupita grew up, she grew up always being haunted. The reason why she was being haunted is because she was not herself. Her real self was still on the other side of that mirror. The reason why I know is because I deal with this every single day. She was being haunted even growing up as an adult because the real her was calling out to this ego self. You know, she knew that she was not complete. The real girl was stuck on the other side of that mirror. And she came back as this lady looking all violent and, you know, fighting and looked like she's trying to kill the other, looked like as she appeared to kill the real Lupita. But she actually, if you've seen the end, I guess supposedly the fake Lupita killed the one that was in the orange. The real Lupita. And then she was in her car with the little boy in the passenger seat. And she was so happy because she killed. And she's like, oh, I'm happy. But really, and the boy looked at her like, Because she was her ego. Her ego killed the real person. Her ego killed the real person. The ego is the one that appeared to be attacked by the one in the orange that was looking all disheveled. But the disheveled one was the real person. That was the girl that was taken on the other side, and she never came back. And that's why Lupita was always seemed to be haunted. Her character always seemed to be haunted in that movie. It's because the real self was calling out to her. That's why she always appeared to be haunted, because the real self was calling out to her. The real girl that was behind that mirror was calling out to her. That's why she couldn't have peace of mind. And that's why I'm going to go to these people that say, have peace in all things. That sounds like a sweet thing to say. That is just very sweet. That is so sweet. But you can't have a peace of mind when the real you was on the other side of that mirror, and the real you keep trying to call out to your fake self, which most people are operating in their fake self, which is the ego. And you can't have peace of mind unless you just completely quieted that voice or something. You ain't going to have peace until you realize who the real you is. And I'm not talking about the real you of how you grew up and you know who you are because you grew up in some type of neighborhood and you've been through this and that and it made you into the person that you are. No. You're just trying to mature the ego. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the life shaping who you are, but the troubles in life is meant to bring you to your true self. It's not meant to just make you into a real man or make you into a real woman. Oh, the things in life help me to be strong. No, that's our ego. If you feel like everything you've been in life just help you to be a stronger person, that's our ego. You're still operating in ego. Oh, it made me appreciate the things out of life. Well, yeah, that's good. That's nourishment. Okay, but it's meant to take you to your true self. The stuff that I'm going through now and the stuff I've been going through, it's meant to connect me to who I really am. And at this moment, had I not been going through some serious crap, like some severe spiritual attack, I would not have known that I was on the other side. That was the real me. I wouldn't have known it. I would have thought that was just a shadow or something. I would not have realized that was who I really am. That's the real me. That's the real me. Ooh, I don't know if I want to say this part. I think I'm going to save it for another upload. Because I got something else I want to say. But because I know I am aware. You know, I always knew there were listeners because, you know, you have to get into a different mind. And it's hard when you've used your ego mind your whole life. Everybody's used their ego mind. But I got something else I'm gonna say. But I'm gonna say this too. How now that I'm being watched, it's spilling into like a so-called physical reality. I was parked in this plaza in the car. And other people are parked there too. And I just happened to know this dude. He was standing in front of behind his car. But he had his phone and his camera. And he was taking a picture of my car. The reason why I knew he was taking a picture of my car, because the way he was angled, it wasn't a car on the other side of me. And he was pointing directly at my car, and I just put my head down so he don't take a picture of my face. I was like, why is this guy taking a picture of this car? So now, when I do meditations, I see the spies. They look like people. I see the spies when I do my meditations. Now I'm starting to see it come out in this so-called physical reality. Somebody took a doggone picture of the car. Now this car isn't listed as stolen. Nothing happened. Nobody suspect me of doing anything. The guy just took it, and he wasn't. It wasn't like an employee that worked in one of the stores. This is somebody who just went to go get something to drink. I guess he might have went to Starbucks. I don't know where he went. He came back and went into his car, and that was it. So this wasn't a patron who's like, why is she parked there? Let me take a picture. No, this was not a patron, excuse me. This wasn't an employee or a store owner. That's what I meant to say. This was a regular patron that just would look like he might have went into Starbucks and got himself something to drink. I saw him with a cup in his hand. And he just took a picture, got back in his car, and he drove off. So he's not the employer or the owner of any of those stores. He just took a picture of the car. Why? This car isn't listed as stolen. What's important about this car? So now I see during my meditations that I'm watched, and it's spilling over into a physical, so-called physical reality. Like now I'm seeing it. Because now when I'm seeing it in the spiritual realm, it's starting to merge with the physical. Because I, do so much meditation and stuff, that now the physical is almost starting to merge with that spiritual. And I'm seeing everything that I see in the spiritual realm, I'm starting to see it in physical, so-called physical. But that's me getting into my higher, person too. And it's blending. I'm seeing it physically happening. Okay? But anyway, that's all I got to say, and I will talk later. All right.